Your brain has bugs, not defects. Features. Features that were extremely useful 50,000 years ago and are absolutely catastrophic for your bank account today. The reason most Australians make bad money decisions is not a lack of discipline. It is not laziness. It is not a character flaw. It is a set of predictable cognitive biases running quietly in the background, shaping every financial decision you make without asking permission. Today we are giving them names. 6 specific bugs. 6 memorable names. Because the moment you can name something, you can catch it in the act. And for each one, I'll give you the one system that counters it. Not willpower, not motivation. A system that works even when the bug is running at full speed. Bug number 1. The Caveman Brain. The Caveman Brain is present bias, the tendency to dramatically overvalue what's available right now over what's available in the future, even when the future option is objectively larger. Your brain evolved to solve immediate problems. A meal today was worth more than a meal next week, because next week was genuinely uncertain. In a world of immediate physical threats, this made perfect sense. In the modern world, the caveman brain sees a coffee today and an investment account 30 years from now and chooses the coffee, every single morning, without asking. The caveman brain is not irrational. It is operating on software that was written for a completely different environment. The problem is not the software. It is the mismatch between the software and the world it is now running in. The fix for the caveman brain: remove it from the decision entirely. An automatic savings transfer that runs the day after payday moves the money before the caveman brain has a chance to find a better use for it. And the system beats the bug every single time. Bug number 2. The lifestyle trap. The lifestyle trap is lifestyle inflation. Income rises. And without a deliberate decision, the lifestyle rises immediately to match it. The upgrade that felt like a treat in month 1 is simply the new normal by month 6. The lifestyle trap is particularly sneaky because it never feels like a mistake in the moment. Every individual upgrade is completely defensible. The better apartment, the nicer car, the restaurant that has become ordinary. None of these feel like a financial error at the time. The biggest cost of the lifestyle trap is not what you spend. It is what you do not save, compounded over the years when the income was rising and the gap should have been growing. The fix. Treat every raise as if it never arrived. The moment a pay rise hits, redirect a significant portion of it automatically, before the lifestyle trap has had time to identify what it wants next. The lifestyle adapts downward far less readily than it adapts upward, so don't give it the chance. Bug number 3. The fear monster. The fear monster is loss aversion. The psychological pain of losing money is approximately twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same amount, which means the brain will make objectively worse financial decision just to avoid the feeling of a loss. A temporary paper loss on an investment that is doing exactly what it should be doing feels like a genuine emergency. The fear monster does not distinguish between a paper loss and a real one, and it does not care what the long-term chart looks like. The fear monster is loudest in the short term. The more frequently you check an investment portfolio, the more opportunities you give the fear monster to create anxiety. This is why daily checking is not just unnecessary, it is actively expensive. The fix. Starve the fear monster of screen time. Automate the investment. Set it to check quarterly. Give the fear monster fewer windows of opportunity, and it has significantly less power over the outcome. Which of these 3 do you recognize most in yourself? The caveman brain, the lifestyle trap, or the fear monster? Drop it below. I am genuinely curious which one is most universal. Bug number 4. The comparison trap. The comparison trap is social comparison. The brain does not measure wealth in absolute terms. It measures it relative to the people around it, and it almost always compares upward. A household earning $150,000 in an area where $300,000 is common feels less wealthy than a household earning $80,000 where $50,000 is common. The number is almost irrelevant. The comparison group sets the baseline, and the baseline is always slightly above wherever you currently are. Social media amplified the comparison trap by orders of magnitude. The comparison group is no longer the street or the suburb. It is the carefully curated highlight reel of everyone the algorithm considers relevant. The fix? Choose the comparison group deliberately. Unfollow accounts that set a baseline you do not want. Spend less time in environments where the comparison trap is loudest. The group you absorb defines the baseline you measure yourself against, so choose it with the same care you would choose an investment. Bug number 5. The dopamine button. The dopamine button is impulse spending. Every purchase, planned or not, triggers a small dopamine hit, a brief but real reward signal, and modern retail has been engineered specifically to press this button as often as possible. The countdown timer, the low stock warning, The one-click checkout. The personalized recommendation that appears at exactly the right moment. None of this is accidental. The dopamine button is being pressed deliberately by people who understand it considerably better than most shoppers do. The dopamine button does not care whether the purchase was planned or necessary. It only registers one thing: reward acquired. The buyer's remorse that arrives later is a completely different part of the brain, and it always arrives too late. The fix. Introduce friction between the dopamine button and the purchase. The 48-hour rule. If you still want it in 48 hours, it probably has genuine value. Delete the saved card details. Remove the shopping apps from the home screen. Make the button harder to press, and the button gets pressed less. Bug number 6. The research rabbit hole. The research rabbit hole is analysis paralysis. The more options available, the harder the decision. And the harder the decision, the more likely the brain is to make no decision at all. The research rabbit hole looks like diligence. It feels like responsibility. It is the investor who has been researching the perfect ETF for 18 months and has missed 18 months of compounding returns while doing it. The research feels like progress. It is not progress. The research rabbit hole is particularly expensive in investing because every month spent in the hole is a month of returns that will never be recovered. The investor who starts with a simple low-cost index fund today is ahead of the investor who is still comparing options next year. The fix. A decision made is worth more than the perfect decision unmade. A simple low-cost diversified ETF started this week beats the perfectly optimized portfolio started in 12 months. Close the tabs, start the transfer. The research rabbit hole is not a place, it is a delay. The free compound calculator in the description shows what happens when you actually start, versus when you spend another month in the research rabbit hole. Most people who run the numbers close the tabs fairly quickly after. Link is in the description. 6 bugs, 6 names: the Caveman Brain, the Lifestyle Trap, the Fear Monster, the Comparison Trap, the Dopamine Button, the Research Rabbit Hole. You are not going to eliminate any of these. Nobody does. The brain is the brain. These bugs have been running for 50,000 years and they are not going anywhere. The goal is not to fix the brain. It is to build systems that work around it. The automatic transfer counters, the Caveman Brain. Redirecting the raise counters, the Lifestyle Trap. The quarterly check counters, the Fear Monster. The deliberate comparison group counters, the Comparison Trap. The 48-hour rule counters, the Dopamine Button. And simply starting. Counters, the Research Rabbit Hole. None of these systems require you to be more disciplined than you currently are. They require you to be slightly more deliberate. Just once. Then the system runs, and the bugs lose. Which of the 6 do you recognize most in yourself? Drop the name below. Sometimes just naming it is the beginning of dealing with it. Subscribe for a new video every week. The previous videos on the 7 levels of wealth and the biggest money mistakes go deeper on the systems for each of these. Both linked below. Your brain was not built for modern money. That's not your fault. And it is not a reason to give up. It is just a reason to build something smarter than a brain that evolved before superannuation existed. Name the bug. Build the system. The bugs don't win if the system's already running. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.